Yeah, and we should be really live now.
Yeah.
We'll wait a couple of seconds or a minute until we know that you can hear us and see us. And then we will start.
Oh, nice view count. Hi, everyone.
Oh, cool.
Hello from Paris, Malaysia,
Toulouse, South Africa,
Norway, and Ukraine. Hi, everyone.
hello from CG Gym. Cool. New design, hi. Some familiar faces as well. Cool, and we have over 100 current viewers, so I think we should get to it.
Let's go.
Gonna switch to our slide deck. So we'll start with some normal introduction, if someone doesn't know us already, and then we'll get to the products and some announcements after that. Yeah, so thanks again for joining us. We are live from Budapest, and I can already see some you guys are saying hi as well from all around the world, which is super nice to see. Yeah, so some quick introduction. My name is Péter Sárhidai. I'm the co-founder and one of the developers at Pulze.
And I'm Mihály Paseczki, the same.
Cool. And yeah, a short introduction about what we do and what is Pulze. So at Pulze, we like to say that we make the life of 3D artists easier, and all of us were a part of Brick Visual, and we started about 10 years ago as 3D artists or post-production artists, and we have been in the industry for almost a decade now, or maybe a little bit more. And after a few years in production at Brick Visual, we figured out that we would like to switch, and then we would like to go from being a full-time 3D artist to being full-time coders. And then we started to develop these in-house tools in 2016, which later on became the tools that we are showcasing today. And then if you already knew us, then you are already using it for some time. And then I'm happy to say that we have customers from more than 100 countries. We just double-checked it yesterday, which is a really, really nice thing. I'm really, really proud of it. And then we have a lot of freelancers and leading archviz studios that are using us. And then here are some of them, like I randomly picked, mostly archviz or architect studios. And big thanks to them. And sorry if I left someone out. And I would like to add to this that there are some companies that these are mostly archviz or architect companies, but there are some that we just cannot list. But there are some other industries that are using our products, such as some Swedish furniture companies or Swiss luxury watch brands that we are really proud of. There is a company in the US who is doing robotics. He is also using us, and there are a bunch of VFX companies and construction companies that are using Scene or Render Manager or Project Dream, which we are super proud of. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about what we are going to do today. So it will take about 60 minutes, maybe a little bit more, with the questions. And I'm going to talk about Scene Manager. Michael will explain the new things in Project Dream, and then I will get back the word and I will show you what's up with RenderFlow, our upcoming network rendering tool. And then towards the end, we will have some announcements and question and answers. If you have some questions, please put it into the comments. And then later on, we have some people around us who will help and then pick the questions, and then we can answer them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So first question, who is using C Manager? Also let us know in the comments.
Like just type +1.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, you probably have never seen this logo, or maybe if you were at D2 or in Warsaw, but this will be the new logo, an icon of C Manager from next week. We thought that it needs a little bit, a touch up, and it will align better to what we have with RenderFlow and Project Dream. So you should get used to it, and I hope you will like it. For those of you who don't know what is C Manager is our staging tool for 3ds Max, and it allows you to create different states in your 3ds Max file. Some of our friends are saying that it is very similar to scene states, but it's scene states on steroids, which is, I think, it's a really cool way to put it. But it really that's the truth. So in C Manager, you can define your cameras, lighting, layer, output, and all sorts of other settings. Currently, we have more than 25 modules. Each module represents a certain part of 3ds Max that you can gain control of. And apart from helping you, switching from one camera to the other, making sure that you're on the right lighting, render settings, it will also help you to stay organized and keep your files and settings tidy. So for example, if you're working, you're doing a lot of drafts, and then you want to keep many of your ideas in 3ds Max, you can perfectly do that with C Manager, with all your settings, lighting, and everything. You can think of this whole product as a dashboard for your project. In the morning, you get to work, you open up 3ds Max, you open up your C Manager, and then you have all your settings and ideas, notes, and basically everything there. You just do 2 clicks, and then you're ready to render or you're ready to continue all your projects. It also makes it really easy to share with others. So if you're working in a team, this is probably the best thing you can do. That's the short rundown. And then I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks. Maybe some of you already knew about these, but I will try to show, the ones that are not so obvious, and by also showing some of the basics. So at this point, I should switch to.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, I should switch to, so you should be able to see 3ds Max. So I prepared something really easy, something really easy to understand. I have 10 little boxes here, or 10 little scenes, and each of them represents a feature of C Manager, and let's fire it up. So first, let's go to scene 1, and in scene 1, I'm going to just quickly run down. This is a basic thing, so nothing new. It's about cameras. So how does C Manager handle cameras, and how, what are the basics? So first things first, you can create settings like just pressing the plus button and then creating new settings here. Or you can, if you have already one, you can duplicate them. And by duplicating, you can define another camera. Let's say I want to have this one, and by clicking between these two guys, 3ds Max is forced to switch camera. So obviously you can do the same way as coming here and going back, but the traditional way, you only set your camera and nothing else. But here you have tons of other options that you can do between two scenes. So for example, I can have a different resolution. So for this one, let's go for a square aspect ratio, and this remains 60 by 9. So you get the idea. Also, this goes beyond just changing the active view. You can also define other properties that you can change between one camera or another. You just need to go to the properties and then just select the camera type you're using. I'm on Corona at the moment, but this goes with physical, standard, or even vray cameras. And you can just, I would like to control the field of view, the ISO, maybe the f-stop. And then you have now these extra settings below your camera. And then you can just click fetch. This is required just to grab the latest information from your camera. You can also do it here. And then you can like adjust the field of view. Probably this is, or adjust the ISO. And if you select your camera, then you see like ISO, field of view, and everything is like, I should switch to this one. So it's now these two guys are connected. Yep. Next, sun. So you can, beside the view resolution, you can also define the lighting. For that, we use normally the sun module or the environment one, or in vray you have also the dome light. And if you want to use that, you just need to enable it, select the sun. I'm going to choose Corona Sun 1, and you will see that now it's enabled. If I would duplicate this, and here I would specify Sun 2, then it turns off Sun 1 and it enables the Sun 2. So immediately you have this, other interaction going on, which is super nice. You also have, properties, intensity, size, and these kind of things that you can play around when it comes to the sun. Another thing that is really commonly used is the daylight. And we can also control the daylight. You just, again, sun module, you select daylight, and here the nice thing is that you can define the time and the date. And then you can control your daylight by clicking, I need to refresh it, and by clicking, the time, I would like to have 12:00. Then your daylight is, at that specific time. You can also choose a date from the calendar, so you can, also use this to be really specific. Camera sync. This is, probably this is less known, but this is, I would say it's new. I think this was introduced in 2.3, and then we did some more work in 2.5. This reserves the way how SceneManager work. So you can enable camera sync. You will get this red rectangle, and then it works the other way around. So I go to C, and then I select another camera, and then what it does, you see that my SceneManager follows this setting. So if I go to like 4C, it will select 4C, and then also if I get my resolution right, when the camera changes, SceneManager also says that okay, the camera changed to this one, it gets selected, and then we also adjust the resolution or anything else in your scene. So basically you can just minimize SceneManager like this, work casually, and all the settings in the background are just adjusted by its own. Again, it's just a convenient way to go. Number 5, what is this? Render output. Nice. Render output. It's down below. Here I just want to show you like the different way that you can think about render outputs. First, you need to select your project path. It can be anything. This This should be nice. And then you have you know, a bunch of ways how you would like to go with this. So you have camera date, PC name, scene name, text, and a lot of other things that you can define, and you can construct your render output this way. So let's say I will have a date which has this format, and I would like to have it as a folder. You connect this folder icon, and you see it became you know, a folder in my path. Then I can go with a camera name. Again, I would like to have it as a folder, and then maybe have my username. Again, it can be a folder, and in the end, I can have, let's say, a version that can be 3-digit starting from 1, and then my extension that is PNG. So, you know, this is something fairly complicated, but you know, you can easily construct this. You can save this or copy it. Yeah, you can export it, reuse it, give it to someone else. I won't do this now, but you get the idea. Moving on, transformation. For that, I want to show you the objects module. Let's move around a little bit. So objects, this will allow you to select objects, and then you can define visibility or other states with them. So I want to control 3 of these, so I will pick them. I need a little bit more space here. And also I will select transformation. And you know, by default, let me also duplicate this so I have more than one option. So by default, you can do stuff like hiding box or cylinder or teapot, and on the other scene, you will, you know, it will be visible. On this one, it will be hidden. That's the basics. But going beyond that, you can also change the transformation. So let's say I have my cylinder. I want to lock the state of the transformation for this cylinder. And on this one, I will enable it. And also, let's do something like this. And also save it. And if I go here, it sits there. If I go here, it's there. So if you have an interior, for example, and something is on its way, then you can move away your couch. You can, you know, put the glass on the other side of the table. Small things like that. Post-production. This is gets asked quite a lot. So we have a separate module called post-production. And here, it's already filled, but I will just clear it. Here, this is Corona, but it's same goes for vray. I already have my light mix elements enabled. And, oops. And on a VFB, I have, you know, something very random. It doesn't really matter. And what you can do is just fetch the light mix. And if you would do any change, this is a tone mapping. So if you would do any changes, so I need Sun 1 and Sky 2, for example, and you click refresh, you see we'll get the correct values. And the same goes for the tone mapping. So if you want to have, I don't know, I will do something with these values. You can also fetch the tone mapping values. And then if you have another scene with different settings, I will just default these back. Fetch again. And now if I go to the first one, you see you have the values that you want. And if you go to the other scene, you have the values one. Same goes for light mix. Here, if I turn these back on, refresh, now it's, you see these changings. So this is, again, a very nice way to keep your light mix inside Scene Manager. Same goes for render settings. By the way, a neat little trick. If this gets really overwhelming, of course, you can, you know, organize it on full screen, but then I won't be able to show you what's going on. So another way is if you double click on the header, you can pretty much get rid of the settings, and I can free up some space. Yeah, like that. Did you know that?
I did not.
No. That's why I'm showing. What was I? Render settings. So you can have, there's two ways of doing this. You can have render settings. I'm gonna drink some water. So there's render settings that are defined in the custom. These are like for Corona, this is path limit, noise limit, time limit, and a few other things. So you can also fetch these, set it up to 300, the usual things. And then Corona will be forced to render until 300 passes. And you can do this for all your other passes as well. If there's anything that the scene manager cannot control, then it's most likely you can most likely do it with the render settings override. And I'm gonna show you like one example. Let's pick something random. For example, image filter. I hope, I'm pretty sure no one uses this or no one changes it. If yes, then I'm sorry. But what you can do is you can fetch your current render settings.
Oh, it's the demo effect.
Nice. You know what? I will come back to this because we can reset the file and I can show it. Number 9 was preview mode. Oh, that's a nice one. Probably also less known. So in the corner, you have switch to preview mode. And what it does, when you enable it, you have this orange border. Outline border, yeah. And now, when I click through, you see nothing happens. So 3ds Max is not getting any messages from us. So it's a nice way that you can, do big changes and your UI not slowing you down. Because when you are defining HDRIs or like render settings, that can be like a few seconds if you have a lot of settings. This way, it's much quicker. You do your settings and then you can go back to running mode. You can click again and then it's all updating. So that's a nice little trick. And what is scene 10? Okay, copy and paste. I can also show you. We had for example, copy and paste. Most of the modules have this copy paste icon. You can say copy, and then I can go to another scene setup and say paste, and then you get the same settings as before, but the special ones like the camera is changed to camera 6. Here it's camera 5. And also like another way to copy paste or reuse these settings is to export. Like you can do an export. You can click which modules would you like to export, and then you can share it with with a friend, with a colleague. You can do templates, for example, and you can start off your projects more easily. I think. Is there anything else, Machine? Oh, there's one more thing. Again, if you go to the settings, there's a little thing called animate camera transition.
Oh yeah.
This is like a little hidden gem that I like to play with. When this is enabled, you can. I will just move Scene Manager to the side. What you can do is, like that. So we do this camera transition, which is like very similar to other softwares. I think SketchUp or these other tools have this. So you can you know, it can be quite nice to fly around in your scene. I don't know, I just like to click around and watch how things are moving around.
Like the Zen mode for
Yeah,
us.
yeah. Yeah, so I think that's the scene manager. And back to presentation. You good like this, Michelle?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I will give it to Michael, and he's going to talk about Project Dream.
Yeah, sure. So let's dive into what's coming in the next version and what are like the best tips and tricks, the best use cases to do right now. Most of what I'm going to talk about is already available. So maybe one thing that's going to be a little bit later on. But so if you don't know what Project Dream is yet, it's our AI tool that basically it's an image generation tool or image enhancement tool. And well, if you haven't tried it, you can grab a trial license from our website, and then you can play around with yourself, with yourself. So I don't know how to even start, but yeah, these are the kind of use cases that I want to talk about, and the new features that should be mentioned. So first of all, we started to implement language models to help you with prompting and to describe your images. So it's basically mostly prompting, because that's the hardest thing to do in all image generation softwares. And then the other thing is doing these kind of style discoveries or style transfers, or basically just generating modes for yourself from your renders or from your viewport to explore kind of possibilities very quickly before committing to them. So basically that's it. And so let me show you some of these features that we have. And it's going to be here. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to click through a few of these features and then go through again, because the generations take some time. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab one of these images kindly provided by Evermotion, and just do like 2 image touch-up on them. And what I'm trying to say, it says that I should prompt the image first. So I will use the language model to auto-prompt the image for me, because that's the easiest thing to do. And then I have like something said by the model. Perfect. Let's just submit one, and then let's see what it does, what it says, because sometimes it can say things that are not changing the image in a way that we would want, because prompts are kind of being taken seriously by the image generation AI in the background. So let's say a large modern building with a unique design, an arch glass front. The windows are illuminated, creating a bright and the scene is set at night. Yeah, this is fine for now. And also, when I was using the touch-up feature, that means that it is going to make the lowest possible alteration to the image. By lowest possible, I mean lowest possible by presets. And I'm using this touch-up in a way to enhance a rendering that I've done before. So if you see the results here, what we're gonna see is the original render versus this little touch-up has just enhanced the cohesion of the image itself, and kind of starts to clean up the 3D-ness of it, while trying also to keep most of the architecture and details in place. But when I mention most of it, I mean it's not that easy to keep all of it, but we'll see in a bit. So what I do with these, and I do all of the generations that are done, and then when I'm happy with one of the images here, I will send them to upscale, which will maybe like a 2x upscale with like a heavy creativity setting, and I will just see what it looks like at the end. So that will give me, like in this case, 3K resolution at the end with like much details that I can use to paint back some details into my original image. So that is use case number 1 basically, and we'll see soon. So back to generational land, what I can also do is enhance or affect this image in much deeper ways. And that is what it was called style transfer before, but now it's being reintegrated into the generation ecosystem, you can say. And basically what happens is with like a lighter creativity settings, you can find from our reference image gallery some kind of mood that you want to try on your image before committing to it in 3D, so you can just play around with something like that. So if you find something that you like here, you can hit the random a few times if you just really want to get inspired. But if you find something that is very close in composition, that will be easier, or by subject. But the further you go from that is the harder it's going to be. So I'm going to show you 2 examples of this. First one is, let's go with this night city kind of thing. And now I'm in the problem again, where I have a reference mood, and I have an image, but I don't have a prompt. So in this case, the auto prompting works in a way that it describes your image and also it describes your mood, and then generates a prompt with both of them. So here we have this large prompt, and then we can submit like an image from this. And it's, if you're using like a lower creativity setting, then it's the easiest thing to do is to have a little bit higher influence from the reference mood. But the more creativity you have, it's going to be the higher influence automatically. So creativity means how much the image is going to change. So if you have a higher influence, then maybe it forces its way through the image with a lower creativity, but then higher creativity means you can lower this one. It's kind of a little experimentation that you have to use to have a feeling for it. So let's submit this one. And also what I like to do is like submit a few of these with a bunch of different settings. So let's go with the higher creativity, and then let's go with this new feature that we do. It's called enhance prompt, which basically is gonna rewrite whatever you have in here in a suggestion. Maybe sometimes less, maybe sometimes more, but it's gonna rethink and try to expand on the prompt if you were maybe a little vague at the beginning. So for example, here, let's say Cornell building, high traffic, nighttime. And this is not a very descriptive prompt. Now it will do the job, but will not be that as good as possible. So that's why we try to do this enhanced prompt that will basically try to enhance or embellish your prompt in a way that it will be easier to understand by the AI and then generate better results. So there we go again. So here we have some style transfers. Again, using these darker thing, we have now more contrast and a more gritty style, you can say. Here we use the higher creativity, so it's changed the image much more. And with the high reference mood also, the influence will kind of give it a more different result than the original image. But this is this image to this image is like the easy thing to do, because it's okay, it's a city, we have streets, we have cars, we have buildings, so it's kind of easy to mesh those two concepts together. But I have a very good example that I'm showing you in the slides before. So with this image, let's try something different. I have this image that I had so much fun with. It's this one. It's an overcast, I don't know, very different photo, a very different image from our own. But we can also apply this one to this, and then have like this whole image change a lot, while also trying to keep the original architecture the same. So what I do again is I go and I try to prompt these images together. So we have the image prompt, and then we have the mood prompt meshed together. So for this, let's try light with like a medium strength with 75 influence. Go, let's do one of these. And then let's go default with like light. And then let's go medium with light, medium with medium. So what I'm doing is like submitting different jobs with different settings, and I will decide which one I like better when they are done. So while they are cooking, here is the creative upscale of one of these first images. So what we're seeing now is we got back all the details that were lost in the first generation. So now, just to be able to check the whole reference, I'm adding this to the showcase, meaning that it will be public. You don't have to do this, you can check it yourself, but for me it's the easiest way to check the original image against the final upscale image. So then here, you can use this image in a way that you like. Just grab some things that you like from it, like photo bash it together is always what I'm saying, is use the AI generated parts to enhance your render in a way you see fit, basically. So okay, they are coming in slowly. So let's see, with these settings we are getting kind of closer to our reference image, but not close enough. And then we have much higher settings here, which is now getting much closer. And then there's two more coming. So this guy, or this guy, let's see what else we have. Here is a new one. Okay, maybe let's go with this one. So again, what I do is when I like something, I will go and send this image into the creative upscaler, and then do like a heavy upscale to see more details unfolding in it. Okay, so that was basically the general enhancement and style transfer. And well, we can also do the same with viewport images, which is always trickier, but maybe it can be used to get ideas or try out moods even before you start to render, or before you start the detailing rounds, before, if you have something that is understandable by the AI, so the minimum amount of work at the beginning stage, at the drafting stage, you can already submit these. So let's try one of those. I will pick this guy, for example. And well, it is also important to clean up the viewports as much as possible. So let's not leave any helpers and dummy geometry in it, because it will take it very seriously. So, not the creative upscale, let's go generate. And you can also here go crazy with it, and then just find some mood that you like. For this, let's go. I would do a few, maybe try this autumn one. So I go this. got a prompt. I will just blindly trust it for now and refine it later when I find something. Then maybe a sunset one. Prompt it again. Good. And then let's do something very different. Let's go with this. Yep. And then one more just for fun. I have one that I like so much, but it's like it's not a use case that you will do, or maybe you will if you find a nice composition for it. This is the one. So this is very I don't know, futuristic and foggy and moody. Well, let's try this also and see what's happening here. But basically, as you can see, it's all about trying out different settings, different images, and then just maybe get inspired from it, or maybe just discard it if it generates you something that you don't really like. For example, here, it's kind of overcooked. That means that this influence might be a little bit high. That it's overcooking the image. But then we have this other thing, which is also could give you like good lighting scenario that you like and you would like to recreate. And while these are cooking, let's check out this upscale for this. Yeah, details are coming together nicely. Now let's check the before and after. Yeah, quite different at the end, while also trying to stay true to the original architecture you have, which is basically the biggest challenge for anyone playing with or trying to use AI in their work. Well, and this is also quite crazy. So yeah, these are the techniques that we see people use and we would like to see. And there is also one other thing that we are cooking right now, and maybe I will, you know, be lucky and show you a new feature in a live demo that will also work. So let's try and animate this image. So this is a new feature that we are working on, and while we are using image to video engine called Runway to try to generate an image, a 5 or 10-second video from an image that you have. This is very, very early on, so you will not have access to it right now, but I'm hoping that maybe we can do it in the next month or month and a half and give you access to this as well. So what basically is happening is, I don't know if you guys ever used image to video before. So you can basically prompt some movement or some ideas to it, and maybe you get lucky, maybe not, but it's a really cool thing to play around and maybe get ideas. Or if you get a very lucky generation, then you can upscale and interpolate more frames into it and maybe use it in a previz or something like that. But I think that was all on the Project Dream side, and I will pass back the word to Peter to talk about RenderFlow.
Cool, thank you. Guys, we see that you're having a lot of questions, which is amazing. I think I will talk about RenderFlow, and then we will shortly get back, and then we will try to answer all of them. I can see that like a lot of Scene Manager, Project Dream, various things. So we will get back to this in a few minutes. And presentation. RenderFlow. So, question is, who is using Render Manager? Who is using Backburner or Deadline or any of it? Let me know in the comments while I will try to introduce you RenderFlow. So beside the 2 workshops that we had this year in Vienna and Warsaw, and like I did had a couple of dozen private demos with various friends and users, but we haven't really showed RenderFlow to the public yet. So this is something really something really new. And if you have not heard about it, RenderFlow is a network rendering tool. It allows you to use multiple computers on your network or other networks or on the cloud and render your images together or render your animations on multiple machines. And RenderFlow will help you to submit it, to track it, and then just to monitor what's going on. It will be the next version of Render Manager, and then we like to say that it's an alternative to Backburner or Deadline. The most important thing is that RenderFlow is an artist-friendly way to do it, and it's also enterprise-ready, so it's really easy to get started. But as you scale or as you try to introduce it in a bigger organization, it also fits really well to your studio's needs. It also has a brand new code base, and then we reworked it from scratch based on like 4 or 5 years of feedback of customers and a lot of talking to you guys. So let's jump in, and I will show you what we have currently in development. Yeah, so here is RenderFlow. I won't bother you now with how to set it up because it's really easy, and then we will have tutorials and documentations about that. I'm just gonna show you like the basics of how to work with it. Yeah, so very similarly to Render Manager, it has 2 views. You can see your nodes and then you can see your jobs. I think we should get to the middle of it and start like the jobs and how to create a job, because this is really, it's a little bit different from what we had in Render Manager. So obviously you have to create on the create button, and then you will get the first difference is that we define these templates, and these templates will define what do you want to work with? Is it 3ds Max? Is it Scene Manager for 3ds Max? Is it Phoenix? And then as you see, we have like a lot more coming. And I wanted to show this just because you know that RenderFlow will be so much more than just rendering images and animations with 3ds Max. It's you will be able to handle your simulations. You will be able to handle conversions, sequence to MP4, Topaz, After Effects, Blender, Cinema 4D, scripting, and exporting from Revit or Rhino, and a lot more. But today I'm going to focus on what we're here for, which is 3ds Max, and basically talking about these kind of things. So let's select 3ds Max, and the next thing that you can do is define a C file. You can either browse in one, or because RenderFlow comes with plugins for 3ds Max and other packages as well. Once you install it, we can detect the running version of 3ds Max. So you don't need to go into 3ds Max and submit to RenderFlow. You can go to RenderFlow and basically get information out of 3ds Max. So I have this file open that I was just using. It's a SM presentation 006. So I'm going to click on it. And in a few seconds, it will just collect like all the information that it can get from the file, which is the cameras. I have all the cameras that I just used in Scene Manager. I have my resolution, my current resolution. I can also change it, of course. I have my frames, so currently it's in frame 0, but if I go back here and minimize this, if I go back here and change the render settings, so let's say range and from 10 to something like this, and if you click refresh, it will go again, and you can see without doing anything manual beside changing it in 3ds Max, I already have an update, and now it says from 10 to 225. What else? You can also define your render output, and we have some render settings for this. It's Corona, so I have pass limit, noise level limit, and time limit, and this also it's correctly reading that out. Beside the common settings, we have also requirements, which is if you're familiar with Render Manager, you know that it's Render Manager was pretty into requirements, and maybe it was too harsh. So we, yeah, it was. But now we went, one stage deeper, and then you can easily turn on and off. So requirements will say that the computer that will work on this job will have to have 3ds Max 2025. Okay, that's it. Why would you do it in a different version? The computer that is rendering this job should have Corona 12, and then you can, deny that. And the computer should have RenderFlow, which is, you have to have one. And beside that, we have, node settings. And the node settings will allow you to whitelist. So I can say that, we should, this job should be rendered with these workstations. But you can also set up a limit and say that maximum 10 computers can work on this job. And then we have also max batch size. This comes handy when you're rendering animations. This will say that, for example, one computer should render 10 frames in a batch, and then it will, stop, and then not stop, but it will pause a little bit, and then it will restart the render, but it won't reload the file. This is something that 3ds Max needs to do. Yeah. On the other tab, we have settings, and you can define the start time of your job. It can be now or later, or then you can define, schedule it. So let's start in 4 hours, or let's start tomorrow at 8 a.m., stuff like that. You can also change the priority, of course, and now we went, back, scratched what we had in Render Manager. I believe it was nice, but it was hard to understand, and in some cases it didn't really work the way that we wanted to. So we went traditionally what the other products have, which is from 0 to 100, where 100 is very important, 0 is less important. And it's really easy to define, what do you want.
And it's also what people are used to.
It is, so, yeah, definitely, yeah. Back then we had like low, normal, medium, high, and then also we had like this sorting where the top one is more important than the other ones.
And the mix of those.
The mix of those that can, that was challenging. You can also, moving on, you can also define groups, and then you can group your nodes and have like, I don't know, very powerful computers, less powerful ones, workstations, and then you can set up groups, and then you can define that, okay, I would like to send my job to that group. You can also define dependencies, and there are like, small settings like interruptible. If this is on, like a job or a node can be interrupted anytime, and then can be moved to another job.
But otherwise, if it's not,
then it will finish its task, and it will decide if if it can go to another one or it should continue what it's currently working on.
So if you have like 8-hour-long frames, then this is the settings that you should think about.
Yeah, by default it's off, so nothing is interruptible, it will finish. But there can be like low priority jobs, and then the combination of this means that this is really not important, and anytime it can go, the computer can go anywhere else and then comes back to this when there's really nothing to do on the farm. Other thing that was highly requested, now it's here, is a cleanup. So whenever a job is completed, by default, do nothing. But you can also do like delete job immediately or after X amount of time. And you can also do that with archive. So those of you if are punching out dozens of jobs per day, this can come really handy, because in the morning you can come back, you can check if everything's okay. If you have these settings on, then you can just find your jobs in the archive, or it will be archived later on automatically. The last thing is custom attributes and tags. You can set all these things, scene short version, project code, folders, the deadline of the project and things like that, and you can also tag it. This will be saved next to the job, and it's at larger places it makes really easy to relate what is this shot, what's it about.
And is it customizable, right? So people you guys can set it up the way that
absolutely, yeah. Like. And if this gets used a lot now, since this is a beta, it's just here to, if people wants to use it. But later on we could do like presets. You can save it. You can make, I don't know, you can make the project folder required, so you cannot submit a job without defining these attributes. That's all up to you. So that will probably come, because I already know that some people are wants to have that. Okay. Oops. Now I made a mistake. I went back. Let's do this again. Okay, so this is rendering 3ds Max, saving it, having some settings here and there. Nothing fancy. You can ask that, why are you doing a whole new product? You already have that. But the difference is, this time we thought that we want to go one step further and go beyond rendering, and we want to do like different things with this. So what you can do is, in step 1, we render this 3ds Max scene, and in step 2 you can choose something else to do in the same job. So for example, what should we do, Michi? Let's run it through Topaz. Now this is in beta, so I don't have settings here at the moment, but this is just demonstrating that the end product will have these features. So this will say that render 3ds Max, then push the output through Topaz with settings. You can also define, this should be done by this computer. And also maybe after that, you're gonna go with sequence to MP4. I know that Topaz can do MP4, but maybe you have your own taste, or we can delete this, and then you can run it through After Effects, for example, and have your layout, your some other things that you would like to do, or you can
your comp,
or you can do like in between. So 3ds Max, I think that this is the right way. 3ds Max, run it through After Effects. You can select your project file. It will update your layers, and then the output will go through Topaz, for example. Or another way, let's go with 3ds Max Phoenix. Go with a 3D simulation, then render it, and then maybe you can go with sequence to MP4, and then you have your MP4 that you can just use it on your daily reviews, and this is like full automatic. Otherwise you should you have your own tools for that, or you do it by hand, but this way you can do it in one run.
Does it work with viewport previews?
I think so. So you can do, I think it's not listed here, but the big submitter, where is it? Yeah, 3ds Max preview.
Okay.
And this has like the built-in preview, TypeFlow, and I think Sinai Play Blast as well. So this is the 3 things that we will support for this preview. But be aware you will need a full 3ds Max license to do that, because otherwise we cannot open 3ds Max for this type of job. For the rest, it's nothing have changed. One other thing, Scene Manager. This was also available in Render Manager, this type of submission, but we went one step further, and then I think this will be the way to do it. So the same way, you can have one of your recent files, you can browse one, and I'm just gonna browse or select what I have already. So this is a multi-job submission, meaning that I browse the file that has Scene Manager in it, and you see this is the file that I just used for the Scene Manager demo. And if I click through this, you see that some of the properties here are changing. So you can, the idea is that you review your settings like this, or you can also change that, and you can submit, like, I don't know, you can say that, okay, I don't need these, and you can say submit 10 jobs in a row. Each of them can have different priorities, different groups, different start times, so you can, really go deep and then configure the way you want it to. Right, so what happens when after you submit a job? I can do that. I will click submit. This will prompt me that I have unsaved changes in my file, and RenderFlow will have to save it before it gets submitted, and I'll say I'm okay. We'll save the file on your behalf, and now one of the computer is just started. Oh, by the way, so this is the job list. Sorry, I got carried away. The difference between this, and I probably should do a full screen, this and Render Manager is that now we have like this full table that is sortable, filterable. So I have my proper filters here. I have my columns that I can organize or turn on and off. And I have like, a lot of information here, which is quite nice. And if you want to go, even deeper, then you can just open up one of the jobs and then see the task list. So this will say that workstation 1 just started with frame 10 and it's starting 3ds Max. And down here you have all sorts of properties that we defined: camera, resolution, the frame it's supposed to do, pass limit, and also the requirements. Now this is parsing scene. Perfect. New thing, and I hope this works, is that it works. We have, for each computer, now we have logs, which is, for most of you, this is probably very boring, but if you have a problem, this is, one of the best ways to know that if something goes wrong, and we really try to help you with that. So it's color-coded, like you have warnings, errors, and other things. You can save it, you can send it to us, and then we can try to help you out with that. And also, if you have errors, then we try to make it really human readable, like these error messages. For example, workstation 2 is not able to work on this because it doesn't have Corona 12. Easy, you install Corona 12, and then you press reset, and it should be good to go. Okay, so this started to work. You see the progress. You see that is, the render time, the remaining time, and things like that. So this is really cool.
Do we have dark mode?
Oh yeah, sorry. Who likes dark mode? I don't, but we have. Is it my settings, dark? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
For my eyes, it's...
Yeah, maybe it's, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Oh yeah, and we have this cool new way of showing the tasks. See, the blue ones are pending, and the purple one is a working one with the percentage.
And how does it connect to Render Manager? Oh, what is the relation between the two now? What can we say about that?
Yeah, how does it connect? You mean you can have them running side by side? That's what you mean?
Yeah, if I want to use this instead of Render Manager.
Oh yeah. First you need to sign up for the beta, and then we need like a few more days, and next week we're gonna send out like installers to more and more people. But until the beta is running, you don't need a license, or we will provide you licenses later on. When we start to replace Render Manager, really, you can use your Render Manager license without any problem. So you don't need to upgrade, you don't need to pay more. You know, you can just use your available licenses. I'm gonna like just a couple of, I don't know, just random thoughts, because I don't know, I really enjoy showing this. One thing that we really spend a lot of time is like editing the jobs. So you have this edit button for all, and it says that the job is currently working. So there are a bunch of settings that you cannot touch. So while you're rendering, why would you change the render settings and resolution, stuff like that? So obviously those things are disabled, but you can still mess with the requirements. You can still change the node limits, stuff like that, and you can still change like the priority, the dependencies, and many more. You can change the name, for example, stuff like that, and then save. And also, new thing that it was requested a lot: finish and stop. So what this do is it will allow this computer to finish, and then the job will stop. So whatever you have running here, it will finish, but no other task will get started. And this is good because, I don't know, you get into the morning and you want to start using your workstations, but you don't want to immediately stop the jobs, and you don't want to monitor them. Okay, in 30 minutes, I will come back and hit stop. You can just do finish and stop, and you see the job went to finishing state, and then all the other, how do you call it? All the other tasks are suspended. So after this is finished, then, you know, the farm is clean, and you can, you know, start using your computers.
And you don't lose any compute time that went into the frames before.
No pixels lost. Yeah. Let's check the node side, because that's also a nice thing. By the way, on the node we have also finish and suspend. But since I already clicked on the job, this makes no sense, but you can suspend and it will stop immediately, or you can do finish and suspend. It will finish what it's currently doing, and then it will go to suspend state, which means you can, you know, do anything else. It won't pick up jobs. But yeah, the node list is pretty much the same as in Render Manager, although you have a lot more options to turn on or off. So you can customize this, you can sort it, and do, you know, all sorts of things with it. And you can also open up the sidebar, and then you can see, you know, your hardware and network settings. Software, I have a lot of stuff on my computer, so this is not normal, but you can also open up 3ds Max, and then you can see, you know, the different plugins up to the patch version that I have installed. Yeah, so this is, you can also do like restart, shutdown, and yeah, usual
Can you
things.
show the soft requirement slider?
Yes. I have to open up another scene. Let's do this. Yes, this is a vray one.
So what is soft requirement slider?
Yeah, I will show it. So I will select this new file that has vray in it. And yeah, so I'm back in the submitter at the requirements section, and then RenderFlow knows that the file that I just selected has 3ds Max 2025, vray, and RenderFlow. That's normal. And then you can see this slider. This is the validation level. which is by default it's normal. And then you can go lower. So low means I don't care which vray, it just has to be vray. It can be 5, 6, 7, whatever. But for vray, it's probably not the best decision. But you can go normal, which means vray 7, but I don't care about the rest. And then you can go crazy, not crazy, but you can go medium, 7.0, but I don't care about the patch versions. Or you can go high, and it has to be this exact version, because maybe you're using a nightly build, you need that certain feature for your scene, and then that requires that 702 or 703 or whatever. This means that the computer has to have this version of vray. Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So this is new, and this is what I was saying, that we worked a lot on this, and this works for most of 3ds Max plugins that we recognize and we know the version. So Phoenix, vray,
blanking here, but it's okay. All the things that we support down.
Forest, ray clone,
Okay.
you know, the usual things. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, one more thing, which is I'm also super excited, and then we can go to the announcements, is system. So 2 things, which is super nice. We have a new thing called maintenance mode. This is good for admin people, I would say. If you turn this on, then the whole RenderFlow will turn into maintenance mode. This means that you cannot submit a new job, and then you cannot do anything. What you have currently will just go through, and then, you know, but you cannot restart PCs, you cannot do anything. This is good, you know, just before starting an update, for example, or something system-wide. The other new thing is automatic node mode. Node mode means your computer can be turned into a state where you will receive jobs. And in my case, this is down here. So node mode, it's currently disabled. But if I enable, then now my computer is able to participate in jobs.
It's for workstations, right?
Yes, yes. I'm the server at the moment. You should not do that, but for workstations, it's totally fine. Automatic node mode, it just helps. So this switch that I just did, this is, you know, just a flip of a switch. But you know, in some cases, when you go home, you still have some stuff rendering, but during the night, your workstation would be a good use in the render farm. So you can set up something like this. So if you enable it, you can say that idle time, this is in minutes, this is the time where your computer is not doing anything. No mouse move, no keyboard, nothing. And then above that, you can use CPU usage in the past X minutes. It should not be higher than 10%, which means it's idle. And then RAM, you know, this should have this much available RAM. And you can also blacklist processes, so you can say 3ds Max exe. If it's not running, then it can switch node mode, and it will start automatically working on something, if there's something available. Right. Vishy, is there anything that's coming to your mind and it's worth showing? Or should we start wrapping it up? It's been over an hour.
Yeah, I think that is good for now. Maybe we have some announcements, and after that we have a few questions.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, guys, you like put a lot of questions to us, so we'll try to answer as much as possible.
So back to the slides. We have a roadmap for RenderFlow. Just a second.
Just yeah.
No.
No?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Scusi.
So roadmap about RenderFlow, because probably a lot of you are asking that, when can you start using it and what are the plans? Will you do this or that? So I will say the number one goal is to replace Render Manager. That's our at the moment, that's what we are working on. So we will have you will have the controls that you just saw, 3ds Max. We're still missing distributed rendering. We have now scene manager support, but I think distributed rendering and a couple of small things, and then we are basically there, and it will be feature pair with Render Manager. So that's the number one goal. I think we will reach that point the beginning of next year, and then we can say, okay, this is 1.0, go for it. So that's the plan. And after that, we can start teasing things like Blender, Cinema 4D, Fusion, and many more that you just saw. And then integrations, I haven't talked about it. That could be like a talk on itself, but we will like to have like notifications for Slack, Teams, connections with Zapier, Notion, Excel. Like you can do like crazy things with it. And we, thanks to our partners, we're gonna have cloud jobs as well. So you can decide if you would like to submit something to your own network, or you want to submit it to for example, Helio.
Or possibly both.
Or possibly both, yeah. Or you can do things like, okay, let's start it locally, and then without doing anything, you can continue it on the cloud. So that's, I think that's pretty powerful. And then we got asked a lot about mobile app, and then we will have a mobile app, and then you can see the same or close to the same information, and then you can control or at least monitor your RenderFlow jobs from home, from on the way to work, on the way home, or basically anytime. Announcements. Some quick ones, like since vray 7 is out, next week we're gonna publish an update for Scene and Render Manager that will have support for vray 7. I think that's a must. So, and you guys are already asking it, so it's ready. We just need to make sure everything is working, and then we're gonna let you know, and then you can download new patches for both software. RenderFlow beta. If you are on the wait list or you already signed up, we're gonna start sending out more and more emails next week, and then you can start using it. Not all of you, because there's like heaps of requests, but we're gonna try and keep up and
scale up as fast as possible.
Yeah, because if I send it to 500 people, then we're doomed. So we're gonna go step by step. So thanks for waiting. And Mishi, we have 2 other things.
Oh yeah, so there's gonna be a patch for Project Dream, the 0.8, which is gonna present some fixes to a Cinema 4D 25 and plugin, and also a fix to the Rhino 7.
Yeah.
Or the SketchUp 25. Yeah.
4, yeah.
So we are just it's a patch to finally have all the plugins for all the recent and not so recent versions running for fetching up viewport previews. And also video feature is coming soon, but the prompt enhancement feature and the reference library is available already. And also Post Manager is become free to use, so if you haven't tried it yet, you can grab it for free and enjoy all of its features for free, basically.
Cool. And there's one more thing.
Oh yeah, the one more thing is that now we are offering these gift codes that you can enter in your Pulze account, and then basically receive full version upgraded trials for yourself for Project Dream, Render Manager, and Scene Manager. The colors are screwed up. Don't worry about it.
No, I don't. Yeah.
So yeah, use these codes and enjoy the softwares. Again, it doesn't matter if you have trials before, whatever. Everybody can claim these codes under the gift codes menu on our website.
And it's important, all of them are full featured, so there are no limitations, even for Project Dream.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
full, no watermarks, no.
yeah. It's the whole deal basically. And these coupons can be claimed until the 18th of November. So if you claim it before then, you're gonna have all the days that you need. Do we have anything else?
Questions. We have a lot of questions.
Let's dive in. I saw one that I think I really already.
Let's switch the camera. And I will move to the beginning.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna answer everything. Maybe not live this time, because there are like some of you have like really deep or very specific questions. So we're gonna make sure that we comment on it if we can do that. I think we can.
Yeah.
Just give us a moment and we'll read this through. Michi, this only so you would be great to change the create and shape selection for region inside of Pulze. Oh no, okay, this is for C Manager.
None of these questions are easy so far.
Can I save image with different extensions, like one JPEG, one other PNG? Okay, so one render, multiple outputs. Currently not. I think you can get around it by writing some scripts and pasting it into C Manager. But for now, no, but it's on our roadmap. So most likely it will be available in the next major update, like C Manager 3, I believe. Selection region +1. I think okay, we have to look into that.
Yeah.
Output splitter like dot or other to reduce the use of text fields. Yep, I think that's was requested many times. It's on our backlog, so we're gonna make sure to have that as well soon. Canvas control scattered objects like I2, I2OK or scatter. Not yet, but it's also on our backlog. Can I remove the hash number? Preview? No, you can't, unfortunately. Let's go a little bit more. Is there a camera overscan option in C Manager? No, there isn't, or at least not yet. Oh, we had some deadline users, render manager users. Cool.
Is there a way to use a SketchUp wireline render to create photorealistic image? It is possible. Go ahead and try. Use the coupon or the gift code and play around with it. I think it's these clear line wire images from SketchUp are one of the better kind of inputs for the image generation to handle. So that would be a good play around. Also, let us know how you find it. No skulls anymore. Yeah.
Where was that? No skulls. No. Yeah. Yep. What was it? Do we need to renew subscription of existing render manager when RenderFlow comes out? No. That's so you can use your render manager license with RenderFlow when it comes out. Will there be a transition from render manager to flow as simple as an update? Or it will be treated as a separate software and set up it over again. You need to, yes, it's treated as a separate software. You need to set it up again. But I don't think I mentioned that you can run it side by side. So at least in the beginning, when you are trying to switch from one to another, you can have both of them running and it should not cause any issues.
But that is also because, and it was another question a little bit down below that, is this a update to Render Manager or is this a completely new software?
Yes, sorry, it's a completely new software. Yes. Cool, RenderFlow looks great. Where can I sign up? I think we're gonna put a link in the description.
Yeah, and if you go on our website and select RenderFlow, you're gonna find the sign up form for the beta.
Is it possible to change multiple job priorities at once, like for animation tasks? Not yet, but it will be available. So let me just... Yeah, so when this is implemented, you can basically go select your jobs, right click, and we will have something like, okay, so like this. So this 5. You will have something like change priority, and then you will have like a quick dialogue where you can set the priorities. So you, yeah, that's that will definitely come. Is it possible to submit jobs from remote networks or only local? How is it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. Hybrid work routine. Yes. So this is one of the big changes. So RenderFlow can basically run everywhere. And then if you have VPN connection already between your home and your studio, or studio between another studio, then it's just a matter of typing in a different IP address when you connect or when you start your instance of RenderFlow, and then you will connect to the office. So that's we already tried that. It works.
Yeah,
it works.
Good VPN.
Yes,
you need a good VPN, but then it's gonna work. We see much love for the mobile app.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
That's gonna be.
It's gonna be open.
Yeah. Are you integrating Dropbox? Yes, I believe. I mean, I know. The plan is that you can do stuff like render, convert, and maybe upload at the end.
Wow.
So that's yes, we should we will have Dropbox. Okay. Michi, is there? It's nice we can run chaos. Yeah. A word about Chaos Vantage. Unfortunately, in their recent updates, they have removed like a feature, so we cannot use or we cannot control Vantage with Render Manager or with RenderFlow at the moment. But hopefully, in later versions, Chaos will put back that option, and then we can you can also submit jobs and use Vantage like that. But at the moment, it's not possible, unfortunately. Oh, and yeah, a lot of you are asking, are we recording this? Yes, and then it will be available from Monday, and then we're gonna send out emails with all the announcements, with the coupon codes, and with the recording. So don't worry about that. Can you implement an undo command? I guess in Scene Manager, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just checking. In Scene Manager 2, there won't be an undo because it's more complicated than it sounds. So it's gonna be Scene Manager 3 probably that will have undo and redo. We render for remove or render element settings. I don't think so. It should not.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't.
Yeah. If it I'm not sure what's yeah, well, I'm not sure why, but yeah. Cloud testing best so forever. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, I think if the chat remains after we end the stream, we will try to address all your questions after if we miss something next week.
Yeah.
And then we have one more thing before wrapping it up. If you want to get in touch, then you can email our support@pulze.io. You can follow us, or please follow us on Instagram @pulze.io, or LinkedIn, or Discord. We're gonna put Discord is now it's Project Dream only, but maybe later we will mix and merge like a forum with Discord. But for now, we're gonna leave an invite link in the description, and then you can go in and chat about Project Dream and see like updates. You can ask Mishi how to do things, and there are like, I don't know, 700 people already there.
Quite
so
a
it's
lot.
yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah, and I will let me just put back if you want to see the coupon codes, but again, we're gonna send them via email on Monday. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us to this live stream, our first one. Any feedback is appreciated, and otherwise,
yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, you can revisit this anytime, and I hope it was quite smooth, I think.
hopefully.
Yeah, and we are looking forward to do this, like, I don't know, every quarter maybe.
More often than before.
More often than ever. Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much, and see you.
Ciao.